All right. Welcome to lesson 10 and 11, which is combined, where we are going to continue from what we discussed on in the previous lesson, which was situation analysis. So in the previous lesson, we're doing situation analysis. We are going to build on that, and we are going to build on that and then focus on the customer journey. So in the previous lesson, I introduced situation analysis. We also discussed that the digital marketing environment is split into two environments. We have got the macro environment, which is the wider environment, and we've got the micro environment, which is the immediate environment. And in the micro environment, we focus on customers, suppliers, intermediaries, and competitors. So now we are going to unpack one of the elements of the micro environment, which is customers. So meaning that at the end of this lesson, you need to understand how customers interact with digital marketing, with digital markets, which is very crucial to digital marketing. Because how are we going to have campaigns if we do not understand the ways in which customers interact with digital markets? You also need to do customer analysis to understand a digital consumer. You need to understand demand analysis and conversion marketing. You should be able to know the implications for marketing planning, which are the conversion models. You should be able to understand consumer choice and digital influence, like what influence does uh, the online environment play in consumers. For example, uh, does social media influence consumers to buy something? Then, of course, we're going to look at customer characteristics. So, in the physical world, going to the shops is a well-known concept, but less is known about the range of triggers and influences that can shape a shopper's journey and inform their ultimate purchase decision. In the digital world, however, the same principles are true, but the online customer encounters many touch points which influence their decision making. The main elements of the online marketplace are customer segments, search intermediaries. Nowadays, you can just use AI models. You've got intermediaries, influencers, you've got celebrities, and so forth. Then you also have aggregators or destination site that also help customers online. You know, customers are able to compare prices. For example, if you are looking for insurance, instead of only relying on Discovery Insure or only relying on Momentum or whatever insurance provider is, you can actually go to Hippo and compare the prices. So you need to understand how all this is unfolding in the digital environment. And how do you understand this? Of course, you use uh, customer analysis. And nowadays, the good part is that tools are available for doing a thorough and near accurate customer analysis. We can use algorithms. We can use AI to understand what is it that the customer likes, or how often are these customers interacting with certain people. It's doable now with AI and other available technologies. You can look at how people are engaging online. You can look at people's historical engagements. You can look at the cookies that we get from the browsers and so forth. So from a micro environment perspective, customers are important players in a brand's environment. As we are aware that customers bring money. That's why I always say customers are the key. And their behavior is central to understanding the trading situation and ultimately how you plan your digital campaigns. So with customers, of course, we look at behavior from two lenses. The first one is demand and gap analysis. So we look at what is it that is lacking and how we can fulfill or cover that gap. We also look at the digital consumer behavior because sometimes people are not the same. The way they behave online could be different to the way they behave offline. And we then capitalize on that. But let's start with demand analysis. So managers in the digital marketing field must understand the current trends and levels to use and levels of the use of internet. How many hours people are spending online, for example, at what time of the day, during the time, what time of the day. This is always crucial so that you can understand how customers relate to services and products the organization wishes to deliver. You also need to assess demand, for digital services by looking at generic factors that enable marketers to set realistic strategic objectives for each target segment. As part of situation analysis and objective setting, experienced digital marketers build conversion or waterfall models of the efficiency into their web marketing. Therefore, conversion tactics, marketing tactics can be used to convert as many potential site visitors as possible into actual visitors and then convert these into leads and repeat customers. Nowadays, we know people are using humor. Brands are using humor because they understand that people are bored, people want to laugh online. People need to be entertained, but at the same time, get informed, get educated on products. Some they would realize that maybe sex sells. They would use sexy women, if I would put it that way. Some would even use nudity. So we are coming across many things, and some are questionable from a morality point of view. But you always try by all means to use tactics to bring as many visitors to your site as possible. So many buyers visit online first to find information that will inform what they buy. So the web and social media needs to perform two functions. So websites and social media pages for organization must play a vital part of the research process as internet users now spend longer time researching for products online. So for example, if a potential student is looking for courses to do, Boston must be able to have such information ready online. Otherwise, if they go to Boston website and they can't find that information, they will go to competitors. They'll go to Varsity College and they find that one means that they are going to register for that course at Varsity College because they found the information that they're looking for. If that information was not at Boston, uh, yet Boston is teaching that course. Websites and social media are also used at every stage of the research process, from the initial scan to the more detailed comparison and final checking of specifications before the purchase. So it is always crucial that you are at the right time using the right platform as a brand when customers are looking for information and are in a stage of buying something. So there are 8 antecedents that you're going to come across when you're doing your F2 assignment that we must understand as marketers, and they always give us an idea on what is it that customers go through when they are interacting with our digital assets, when they are interacting with us online. So understanding the individual nature of customers is fundamental to digital marketing practice and planning. And there are 8 antecedents that you need to understand. For example, information processing. Whenever a customer is looking for something, the first thing that they do is to gather information as much as possible. Let's say I'm looking for a television set. I don't have a TV in my house. I'm looking for a TV set. What I do is that I gather as much information as possible, process it. Do I need an LED TV or an LCD? Do I need a smart TV? I'll process as much information as possible. And how do I process this information? I'll go online, start to read about the TV that I want. I'll go to Incredible Connections. I'll go to TV manufacturers themselves, be it LG, Hisense, Samsung, and so forth. And as I look for this information, TV brands need to make sure that this information is easy to find, giving them the potential for me to buy from them. Once I come across that information, I then go through what is called perceived ease of use. Am I going to be able to easily operate this TV? Is it easy to install it? Do I need to find out somebody who can come and fit it in my room? Otherwise, if it's difficult to use, then I'm not going to buy it. And this is based on assumptions as I gather the information. That's why it's called perceived ease of use. Then, of course, I need to understand the value of this TV to me. Is it going to be useful? Am I going to spend time on it watching soccer and so forth? Of course, if it is going to be useful, then means that I'm being convinced more to buy it. Then, of course, you look at perceived benefits. Apart from watching soccer, what else would I do with this television? Oh, I can play games on it. I can use it as my monitor for my laptop. If I want a bigger screen, I can use it. So there are many benefits that I would actually get from this TV other than connecting it to the DSTV or Netflix. Then you look at perceived control. Am I in charge of it or is it in charge of me? Is it beyond my control? Because there are some things sometimes that we would love to have, only to realize that we are not in control of them. For example, get a pet or a dog, only to realize that we cannot control that dog. So all products, we always want to be in control of them. I'm in control of my car. I'm in control of my TV. I can decide to do this and this and that. If it's beyond your control, then why must you have it? Especially if you cannot fully own it. Then, of course, you also think about the skills. Do I have enough skills to use this product? Because some products require technical skills. So that's why most products come with a manual to see where I can press the on button, the off button, like the generic skills of operating this television. Then what about the trust and risk? Can I trust this brand? What about the warranties and the guarantees? If it's broken, do I have that risk that they do not do refunds? Do I have a warranty on this thing? Is it going to cost more electricity on me? Do I trust the product? Is it going to explode in the room? What about the payment methods on buying it? So you think about that. Of course, lastly is enjoyment. So if all those 7 antecedents are fulfilled, then, am I going to enjoy this product and even recommend others to buy it? So those are the elements that people go through when they are interacting with digital markets. And as brands, you need to be there for them as they process the information, as they're going through perceived ease of use. You must be there and nudge them so that they can end up buying your product. So customer journeys are a term commonly used by digital marketers to describe touch points or different types of paid on and media, which influence consumers as they access different types of digital platforms and content when selecting products and services. It is the modern marketer's job to then make the best investment to feature their brands and provide relevant content to support customer decision making. In other words, to help understand digital customer journeys to purchase, customer journey maps are techniques used to model behavior of different target personas. So this is how you interact with customers so far. Are there any questions or any comments? Okay, silence means that everything is going well. So since we have discussed customers, it means that all is well. Now we move on to do the actual customer analysis because we now have a sort of like an idea from a theoretical point of view of of customer journeys. So now it's crucial to go and do a customer analysis, which is what you are going to be discussing in the next lesson.